Destruction leads to a very rough road, but it also breeds creation. An earthquake's out to a girl's guitar, that's just another good vibration. And tidal waves couldn't save the world from Californication.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today, we're counting down our picks for musicians whose careers lost momentum only to be revived by a single track.
Yeah, the ladies want to come. You've been thunderstruck.
Number 20, Meatloaf. I'd do anything for love, but I won't do that.
No, I won't do that.
16 years is a very long time between commercial successes. After Meatloaf hit it big with his 1977 smash album Bat Out of Hell, it took him that long to replicate that peak. The 70s and the 90s were two very different eras, and yet, when the supposed has-been put out Bat Out of Hell 2 in 1993, the results were shocking. No one expected Meatloaf to have a massive career resurgence, but with the release of the power anthem I'd Do Anything for Love, the 46-year-old scored the biggest hit of his career.
And I'll be there till the final act. And I would do anything for love.
Everything from the song itself to the bombastic music video was rock and roll gold. To this day, remains one of the all-time great career comebacks.
No, I won't do that. Anything for love. Oh, I would do anything for love.
Number 19, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication.
Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation. And little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation.
After years of being known as a party boy funk metal band, Red Hot Chili Peppers finally made it big in the early 90s, but the fame led to guitarist John Frusciante quitting the band rather abruptly, and not on good terms either. Replacement Dave Navarro was a rough fit, and their 1995 album One Hot Minute was underwhelming. So when Frusciante got sober and rejoined the band in 1998 to begin working on Californication, it was a real make-or-break moment. But sure enough, the album was a hit.
Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication.
Revitalizing the group and introducing a new anthemic radio-friendly sound to their repertoire. It was never more clear than on the album's title track.
Dream of Californication.
Number 18, Christina Aguilera, Moves Like Jagger.
You wanna know how to make me smile? Take control on me just for the night.
Christina Aguilera was by no means in dire straits in 2010, but after the album Bionic underperformed that year, people were genuinely wondering if Xtina had finally run out of gas. However, with the help of Adam Levine and Maroon 5, she shot right back up to the peak of commercial success with the hit single Moves Like Jagger. And in many ways, it was a genius move on Levine's part to draft Aguilera for this track.
Keep it. Nobody else can see this.
The song was destined to be a big seller regardless, but it's undeniable that Christina was in peak form. Moves Like Jagger put her name right back onto the map. Number 17, Mott the Hoople, All the Young Dudes.
Juvenile delinquent Rex. Oh man, I need TV when I got T-Rex.
Mott the Hoople had a string of acclaimed albums in the years leading up to 1972, but failed to make it big commercially. However, just as they were considering calling it quits, David Bowie reached out with a song he wanted them to record. That song was Suffragette City, which the band rejected. However, 2 hours later, he rang them back and claimed that he had just written the perfect tune for them. This time, it was a glam rock masterpiece called All the Young Dudes. Before they knew it, it had single-handedly saved the band's career. They were instantly catapulted to genuine success, following through on that momentum with a run of critical and commercial hits.
Because I want it. I want it right here. Bring it, come on. Bring it.
Number 16, Neil Young, Rockin' in a Free World. Neil Young's legacy was already set in stone by the time the 70s concluded. Whether he was singing a lovelorn ballad by his piano or rocking out with his band Crazy Horse, Young had seen and done it all. But the 1980s were tough on him. Album after album, he completely failed to capture the spark that had defined his prime years. But in 1989, just as the grunge movement was emerging, Young managed to strike gold. The lead single from the album Freedom, titled Rockin' in the Free World, was the best thing Young had released in years.
We got 1,000 points of light for the homeless man. We got a kinder, gentler machine gun hand.
It was an urgent anthem that set him on a return to form that was followed by a number of successful albums. Number 15, Alanis Morissette, You Ought to Know.
I know the version of me. Is she perverted like me? Would she go down on you in a theater?
Alanis Morissette always had the ingredients to be a star, but before Jagged Little Pill, she hadn't found the right ones. Her early run was more mainstream pop before her mega-hit third album skewed more alternative. When that lead single, You Ought to Know, came out, it instantly made Morissette the hottest thing in pop rock. And listening to it, it's easy to see why. The attitude on display was a breath of fresh air in the mid-90s and sounds even better now. And beneath it all, You Ought to Know is the type of pop masterclass that most artists spend an entire career chasing. It's punchy, catchy, and comes delivered with an unmistakable angst that ties it all together. Number 14, AC/DC, Thunderstruck. AC/DC rose from the death of lead singer Bon Scott to deliver their biggest album, Back in Black, with Brian Johnson up front. By the time the 80s concluded, the notion of them recapturing that old flame seemed a little far-fetched. In 1990, just as they were one more flop from dropping into the nostalgia band corner of the record store, AC/DC put out Thunderstruck.
Tear me apart. You've been thunderstruck.
It's quite possibly the most thrilling track they have ever recorded. From its legendary guitar riff to Johnson's iconic vocal performance, everything about this song kicked AC/DC back into gear. It later became one of the highest-selling singles in music history. Number 13, Elvis Presley, Suspicious Minds. Elvis Presley had been focusing on his film career throughout a large portion of the 1960s, letting his musical ambitions slide further into the rearview mirror. But in 1968, his televised comeback special proved that the king was still, well, the king. He hadn't performed live in 7 years, but it wasn't until the release of 1969's Suspicious Minds that Presley found his way back to the top of the charts. The song is a timeless classic, and it would have been a hit in any era. It caused a huge resurgence in Presley's popularity, marking his final #1 hit on the Billboard charts before his untimely death in 1977.
I can't walk out
because I love you too much, baby.
Number 12. Daft Punk, Get Lucky.
Come too far to give up who we are.
Even by Daft Punk's standards, 8 years is a long time between albums. Despite their success in the late 90s and early 2000s, there was a whole generation who had barely heard of the duo's best music. But just as they were fading into relative obscurity, out of nowhere, they announced a new album, Random Access Memories. Lead single Get Lucky truly solidified their return.
We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky.
Not only did this send them to the top of the charts in several countries, but the Nile Rodgers and Pharrell Williams-led track served up a blueprint for 2010's artists on where pop music was headed. And to this day, it still sounds as fresh as ever.
We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get lucky.
Number 11. Paul Simon, You Can Call Me Al. Paul Simon is now regarded as one of the greatest songwriters of all time.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
But after the breakup of Simon and Garfunkel, his solo career wasn't running as smoothly as he might have hoped. Despite some hits and critical successes, his 1986 album Graceland took him to a totally different level of fame and exposure. As soon as the general public heard the opening synth line of You Can Call Me Al, they were hooked. For an artist who was 20 plus years into their career to release a single this relevant is truly commendable. It initially didn't sell well, but eventually went on to become one of his biggest solo hits.
Number 10. Jonas Brothers, Sucker.
We go together. Better than birds of a feather, you and me.
Over a decade after they were first burning up the charts, the Joe Bros hit their biggest peak yet. In 2013, the Jonas Brothers disappointed fans when they canceled their tour, announced their split, and pursued solo careers and side projects. This period lasted until 2019, when they finally announced their reunion. Kevin, Joe, and Nick were all on board for Sucker, their comeback single, which blew their past success out of the water.
I'm a sucker for you. Say the word and I'll go anywhere blindly.
While it was unknown if the group's grown-up fans from their Disney era would still be interested in their music, they came out in droves to support Sucker. The song went number 1 and 5 times platinum, with nearly everyone re-laminating their Jonas Brothers stand cards.
Break my typical rules. It's true, I'm a sucker for you.
Number 9. Pink, You in Your Hand.
Check it out, going out on the late night. Looking tight, feeling nice, it's a cockfight.
Despite its title, Try This, many listeners skipped over Pink's third studio album. None of the singles caught on, so she went back to the drawing board for its follow-up, aptly titled I'm Not Dead. While the lead single, Stupid Girls, was a moderate success, second single, Who Knew, didn't go too far. Thankfully, her next song, You in Your Hand, was bold and controversial enough to halt her unlucky streak.
Don't touch, back up, I'm not the one. Up.
With a catchy tune and explicit lyrics about shutting down creepy guys at the club, it had more longevity than Pink's other recent songs and set her back on the right track.
Keep your drink, just give me the money. It's just you and your hand tonight.
Following the success of You in Your Hand, she re-released Who Knew, which became one of her most enduring hits to date.
You busy making my sleep, my darling. Who knew?
Number 8. Train, Hey Soul Sister.
Hey, hey, hey.
Here's a song that refuses to leave our left side brains. After Drops of Jupiter and some minor hits, many thought Train had left the station for good. The group took a multi-year hiatus in 2006 after their fourth album, For Me It's You, underperformed, and it seemed unlikely they'd recapture their early success. But after releasing Hey Soul Sister in 2009, it slowly climbed up the Hot 100 until reaching a peak of number 3 in 2010.
Hey, soul sister, ain't that Mr. on the radio? Stereo.
The Jason Mraz-esque ukulele song received mixed reviews for its corny lyrics, but it undeniably sounded like a massive smash. Hey Soul Sister even surpassed Drops of Jupiter in popularity, becoming Train's signature song over a decade into their mainstream career.
Don't wanna miss a single thing you do tonight.
Number 7. Aerosmith, Walk This Way. If you thought the Bad Boys from Boston were content to stay a 70s band, dream on. After guitarist Joe Perry's 1979 firing, singer Steven Tyler's substance issues, and diminishing musical returns, Aerosmith had a rough go in the early to mid-1980s. Even when they reconciled with Perry, their 1985 album, Done With Mirrors, wasn't the comeback the group hoped for. Instead, that would happen a year later in the form of Walk This Way, Run DMC's remake of Aerosmith's 1975 hit. The rap group's version, which included contributions from Tyler and Perry, resurrected Aerosmith's career out of left field and granted crossover success to both bands. For the rest of the 80s and into the 90s, Aerosmith fans wouldn't want to miss a thing. Number 6. Marvin Gaye, Sexual Healing. One of Motown's defining artists, Marvin Gaye is synonymous with the soul music of the 1960s and early 70s. Sadly, the next decade was rough for him. Gaye experienced depression, addiction, and tax issues. And one of his unfinished songs was put on his 1981 album, In Our Lifetime by Motown, against his wishes. After parting ways with a label, Gaye went back to his roots with Sexual Healing.
I got sick this morning.
Updating the subject matter of his earlier hit, Let's Get It On, the 1982 song was a sultry slow jam with funk elements. Sexual Healing scored Gaye his first 2 Grammys nearly 20 years into his career. While Gaye would tragically die less than 2 years later, Sexual Healing allowed him to enjoy a career revival.
When I get that feeling, I want sexual healing, sexual.
Number 5. Britney Spears, Womanizer.
Superstar, where you from? How's it going? I know you got a clue what you're doing.
The princess of pop has never left the public's radar, but she's had periods of staying there for all the wrong reasons. Britney Spears' music career was doing fine when she saved it with 2008's Womanizer. Her previous album, Blackout, remains a fan favorite to this day. However, she was just coming out of the other side of her tumultuous personal life, and it was unknown how it would impact her career. Thankfully, the obnoxiously catchy Womanizer showed that Britney's struggles wouldn't impact her hit-making abilities. The song became her first number 1 since her debut single, Baby One More Time, and included a hit music video that served as the sequel to Toxic. But when people thought that she was slipping under, Britney found the perfect antidote. Number 4. Cher, Believe. Mariah Carey may be known as the Songbird Supreme, but Cher is more like a phoenix. She's practically immortal, always rising from the ashes and reinventing herself just when people are close to counting her out. Her most impressive pivot came in the late 90s. after health struggles, unsuccessful releases, and the death of Sonny Bono, her ex-husband and former duet partner. Cher's comeback single, Believe, had a whole new sound, and we don't just mean a change in genre.
I don't need you anymore. No, I don't need you anymore.
Besides having a club-ready Eurodance vibe, it became one of the first hit songs to use autotune. Going number 1 and earning Cher a Grammy for Best Dance Recording, Believe restored everyone's faith in the goddess of pop.
Really don't think you're strong enough now. Do you believe in life after love?
Number 3, Santana, Smooth. Man, it's a hot 100 chart topper. In 1999, Carlos Santana and his eponymous band made one of music's most random comebacks.
My Spanish Harlem Mona Lisa. You're my reason for reason.
Not being anywhere near the top of their game since the early 1980s, Santana stopped releasing new albums altogether following 1992's Milagro. However, after Carlos Santana had a meeting with record exec Clive Davis in the mid-1990s, the band began to work on Supernatural, their blockbuster return to commercial relevance. The much-memed lead single Smooth featured vocals from Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20 and compared love to a sweltering heat wave.
It's just like the ocean under the moon. It's the same as the emotion that I get from you.
With an updated sound, infectious guitar hook, and a current name in the mix, Smooth not only saved Santana's career and legacy, but gave them some coveted pop crossover appeal.
Give me your heart and make it real, or else forget about it.
Number 2, Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do with It?
You must understand, the touch of your hand makes my pulse react.
With just one song, the Queen of Rock and Roll went from a secondhand emotion to the first artist on everyone's minds. Tina Turner first rose to fame in a duo with then-husband Ike Turner in the 1960s. Although they stopped working together in 1976 and divorced 2 years later, while Tina's first few solo works didn't take off, that changed when she took a 5-year hiatus and returned with the 1984 album Private Dancer.
What's love got to do with it?
One single, What's Love Got to Do with It, was a modern, sexy rebrand that kickstarted her comeback as a free single woman ready to mingle with solo success. At the time, Tina became the oldest woman to top the Billboard Hot 100 at 44 years old.
Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Mariah Carey, We Belong Together.
I didn't mean it when I said I didn't love you so. I should have held on tight, I never should have let you go.
Most people associate glitter with parties and celebrations, but in Mariah Carey's case, it's majorly derailed her career. The 2001 movie and soundtrack album Glitter were poorly received commercial disappointments, and Carey's 2003 follow-up album Charm Bracelet failed to mitigate the damage. Thankfully, she got back on track for her next album, 2005's The Emancipation of Mimi, particularly on the single We Belong Together.
When you left, I lost a part of me. It's still so hard to believe.
Interestingly, the R&B ballad lamenting a failed relationship could almost be read as a response to her declining career. Fortunately for Carey, the song totally turned things around. It became one of the longest-running #1 songs in history and spawned a feature-length comeback with The Emancipation, showing that Mariah Carey and the top spot truly do belong together.
Gonna take your place, there ain't nobody better. Oh, baby, baby, we belong together.
Did we miss any legendary musical comebacks on our list? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.